That's why, folks, I'm here to answer that question. Right behind, we got this tall, kinda bland-looking box where the world pretends to get along. No character, just flags. Like a giant cereal box of diplomacy, I tell ya. This, friends, is the United Nations. Or, as I like to call it, the not-so-united club of global hypocrisy. The UN is throwing their 8th birthday party. Yeah, 80. Balloons, cake, champagne, the whole deal. But these guys are wild, man. While they're sipping wine and cutting steak, they're also drafting resolutions, condemnations, recommendations, probably even vacation plans. And you know what? Not a single soul from Palestine's at the party. Yep, the U.S. didn't grant them a visa, but they're gonna yap about Gaza like they own the whole darn place. Why? 'Cause that's just how old boss Netanyahu wants it. In the U.S., well, they just tip their hat and say, yes, sir, as you wish. Meanwhile, in the backdrop, Israel's out here bombing Gaza like it's on unlimited free trial mode. And not just Gaza. They're picking fights with neighbors, even Qatar. Like, bro, that's America's buddy. You don't touch America's buddy. And Netanyahu, he's on stage like some rock star. Don't worry, guys, I got this under control. Bruh, the house is on fire. And here's my real question. Why are these two jokers still in the UN? That's why, folks, I'm here to answer that question. Now, this is where it all started. Well, not exactly, mind you. But it is where the architects of history's messes now hang out, yes, sir. The very same alliance that gave Zionists a homeland in someone else's home. Can you believe it? Flashback time. Jews free in Nazi Germany, and nobody wanted them. Lord have mercy. Zionists said, we want Palestine. Colonials said, sure, take it. Arabs said, hold on now, what? This here is our ancestral home. And when they resisted, what happened? They were called anti-Semites. Imagine this. Someone walks into your house and says, this is where my great-great-grandfather's great-great-mummy once lived. We're renaming it Israel. You'd kick them out, would you? That's what happened. Arabs revolted. Brits armed the Zionists. Palestinians were expelled. And now, 80 years later, we're talking about the headquarters of that alliance that's responsible for this whole shebang, y'all hear? We're talking about 193 frags, plus 2 more that ain't even countries. One of them, Vatican City, was like, nah, I'm good. I don't want to be part of this here circus. And the UN was all, fine, just chill and watch. That's Vatican. The other is Palestine, not a country. Why? Because the Colonial Brotherhood has a twisted affair with Israel. Not a very decent affair, I must say. Israel says, no Palestine. And the UN says, okay. Now the world is asking, not the leaders. They are sleeping. It's the people who demands answers. Why is Gaza burning? Why are 70,000 dead? Why can't anyone stop it? These aren't dumb questions. Every question has an answer. So why not these? Let's find out. Some say it's the gangster couple U.S. and Israel. And yeah, we say, get lost, U.S. Get lost, Israel. But there's more to the party. And the real question is, why hasn't the rest of the world kicked them out? Good question. And every good question deserves a good answer. If we don't have one, let's make one. All right, now, let's just dig on into that old UN bin and see what kind of dirt we can dredge up. Here's how the story has gone so far. The whole wide world sees trouble brewing. Countries, they draft up a plan saying, "Fie, let's fix this mess. Pronto." Majority, they say, "Yes, sir." Then it moved on over to the Security Council. And that's where the real sabotage starts, I'm telling ya. 5 nations, mind ya, US, Russia, China, UK, France, can veto anything. So what in Avatar is a veto, ya ask? Well, it's the magic dang word that just kills peas dead in its tracks. Unveto, and poof, the whole shebang just dies right there. Peace, canceled, like a bad check. Justice, delayed, like a fish that got away. Suffering, well, it just keeps on keeping on. Sounds plumb absurd, don't it? Anyone with half a brain knows this is pure madness. But these here 5 thugs, they don't play by no kind of logic. They play by loyalty, plain and simple. Israel's been breaking rules like it's speedrunning a video game. 77 violations? That's not a record, it's a resume. And every time someone tries to call it out, the U.S. hits veto like it's playing whack-a-mole. I want to use it to save my buddy. Like, hey, should we stop this genocide? Veto. Can we maybe not bomb hospitals? Veto. Aha! We got some officers here. Excuse me, sir, but we're just after a little bit of the good stuff. Now, could you get us the lowdown on who's been using or abusing that veto power? And, we also want to know who's slinging the most arms and just how much they're making from those underhand deals. Aha! This has been the name of the game since the get-go. They've done more vetoing than solving, I reckon. How many problems could have been fixed? How many lives could have been saved if these scalawags didn't go abusing their power of veto? And here's the kicker. All 5 of these countries are top weapons exporters. Now, hold on to your hats, folks, because here's a real brain bender for you. Why on earth can just one country, from that permanent gain, sabotage what the entire world agreed to fix? Sounds sinister, don't it? Ha! That's the conspiracy of veto power. The golden no button. Press it, and peace goes poof. Let's break it down, y'all. The 5 permanent members. They're not peacekeepers, no sir. They're destruction dealers. Each one's got nukes. Each one manufactures weapons like candy. They're shareholders in the global war economy. Here's the business model. One thug arms one side. Another thug arms the other. Boom, conflict. Boom, profit. It's economic stimulation, baby. And the rest of the world chimes in saying, let's put a stop to this here, Magnus. And the shareholders, well, they just cackle. Hold on now. We're the ones who wrote the rules. You want peace? You gotta ask us real nice first. And if they ain't sitting at the head of the table, they take their toys and go home. And the rest of them follow suit, because the shareholders hold the cash. So what's the point? Exactly. That's why the UN can't agree on anything real. They gather, they debate, they sip coffee. They know, whatever they decide, one shareholder will veto it. But hey, they need to look busy. If the world were peaceful, there'd be no need for the UN. So the top 5 make sure there's always a war somewhere. And the rest, they get assigned the cleanup crew. Go help the victims, they're told. And, to be fair, they do a pretty decent job. Every September, they gather at the UN, smile for cameras, wear suits, and pretend they're solving stuff. Meanwhile, Gaza's been bleeding for 2 years. People under rubble, dying in silence, becoming stats under collateral damage. That phrase, it's just PR for we killed civilians but didn't mean to. We need new rules. If you kill innocents, you don't get to say, oops. You stop. You wait. You find another way. And if you call oppressed people terrorists just because they fight back, maybe check who's holding the leash. Seriously, at this point, the UN's about as useful as an old Nokia phone. Sure, it's still there. Looks solid. Maybe you could throw it at someone. But try making a TikTok on it. Useless. So yeah, I'm done. I'm protesting. I'm marching. And I'm saying it loud. Abolish that veto bullshit. Now listen up. No country ought to be arming another. Period. If one nation decides to go and invade another, well, the rest of us gotta hit them hard with sanctions, block their GPS, cut off their internet, leave them with nothing but dial-up and shame. Sounds wild, don't it? Ha! Look, I know some of this sounds plumb impossible. But so did ending apartheid. So did landing on the moon. So does surviving Monday, ain't that the truth? If we don't dream big, we're just extras in someone else's war movie. Abolish that veto, I say. Make every single vote count the same, yes sir.